Hello everyone. Today I will talk about EX commands in Vim. In case you don't know, EX is one of the precursors of Vim. Let me show you the lineage here. So at the very beginning we had the ED editor, then the EX editor, then VI, then Vim. In fact, you already know many of the EX or even ED commands. For example, :Q exits Vim, :W writes to a file, :R reads in a file, etc. Vim basically inherited all the colon commands from EX and ED. Okay, for today's agenda, I will first review the :S command, S for substitution. Then I will go over the useful colon commands, delete, move, copy, and indent. And then I will cover the :G command, which is useful in some cases. And finally, I will cover append, insert, and replace commands, which I seldomly use. So if you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, first let's talk about the :S command. The general pattern is you put in some optional range, S, old text, new text, and some options. So say we want to change the range in this line to capital range. We can say line number 5 S range, then capital range. If you do that, notice only the first range has changed. That's the default behavior. If you want both of them to change, you have to use an option G for global. Also, if you're already at this, if your cursor is already at this line, you can say .s. Dot means current line. And also, let me cancel it first. Also, if it's current line, you don't have to, whenever you have a dot, you can just omit it. That will be interpreted as current line automatically. Okay. Okay, what if you want to change the second range to capitalized, but not the first one? In that case, you can add an option C for confirmation. Then you can say no for the first one and yes for the second one. So here I have the smart match on, smart case on, and that will match the third one as well. You can just say no here. Okay, so what if you want to change the range on line number 3 as well? Then you can say line number 3 to line number 5, range to capital range. So right now the cursor is at line number 3. Then you can say from current line to current line plus 2 lines. And because the current line can be omitted, you can just say do it this way, and that will have the same effect. Okay, so suppose you are at line some other line, and you want to still do line arithmetics. Then you can say from line number 3, semicolon plus 2. So when you use semicolon, the baseline will be the first number instead of the current line, and that will have the same effect. Say you want to just change all the range to capital range in the document, you can say from the line 1 to the last line, the $ means last line, or you can say %s, percentage means every line. Okay. That's about the tricks for ranges. Let me tell you another trick. So you can go to the word and say and use the star sign. When you type star, it will automatically select all the matching word under the current cursor. At that point, you can say %s and then empty and double slash and range. So here, when you don't type in any old text, it will use the visual selection as the old text, and that will have the same effect. Okay, suppose you don't put your cursor is not at the range. You can do /range to choose the word. You can use the slash to choose the word, and then at that point you can do this trick again. Okay. Okay, the next one is suppose you want to search for the slash symbol itself. Then you will have to escape it. Say we replace user to something. It will be very painful if you want to match many slashes. The good news is that you can use any almost any symbol as the delimiter, and when you do it that way, you don't have to escape for the slash anymore. I think most symbols will work, but there are a few exceptions. I don't really remember what they are now. Okay, the next trick. Say you want to. The next trick is the back reference. Say you want to change apple to apples in this line. You can surely say apple to apples, but that's a lot of typing. An alternative is to say \0s. \0 means whatever is matched, and then that will change apple to apples, the first one. So the back referencing can be even more sophisticated. You can match part of the word, and you can do more than one. So here, let's say we only have one, and then we can reference it with \1, and let's say we can change it to so the apple will be changed to, let's say, A. We have A in the beginning and then P at the back. Let's say we put a 2A in the beginning and 1P at the back, then it will become AAAPPP. And you see that's exactly what they expect. Okay, what next? Well, that's about it for the colon S command. Next, I will talk about the useful ones. Let's say we want to delete line number 11 and line number 12. So normally, you might just go down there and then to DD. I mean, there are many different ways to go down there. You can say colon 11, or you can say 11GG, or 11 capital G. Yeah, so there are many ways, but I think the easier way is use the colon D command, and then you can say 11 to 12D, or you can say 11 plus 1D. Or if you're already there, I mean, if you're already there, I think 2DD is probably the easiest. Okay. You can also move them into different locations, say plus 1M to the end of the document. Or you can say current line and plus to copy them to the very beginning of the document. Sorry, I should have used the range. I was wondering why that didn't work. Okay, let's say we want to copy line 11 and 12 to the beginning of the document. Then you can do it like this. So you could say +1, but if you just say plus, it's interpreted as +1 automatically. Sorry. Here I should have used the semicolon. Okay, say I want to indent them +5 to the left, then I can do it this way. So these are the useful ones. Now let me go to the :G command. So before that, I need to tell you about the :P command. For example, if I do a range P, that will just print to the screen, and it prints in a separate window. I don't really use the print anymore because now we can just see the whole document directly. But in the old days, you actually don't see the document. You only see one line. You only see like the window down there in the time of EX editor. Okay, so at early days, a very useful thing to do is just to show them. So you will use :G, which is kind of a search, and you search for a regular expression, and then you print it out. And you can see from the name, this is actually the motivation of the grep program. But this printing is not useful nowadays. You can do useful things like you search for a pattern. Say we search for delete, and then the G and the search part becomes a definition of the lines, and then you can chain it into the other commands, say dmts command. Say we want to delete all the lines that contains the word delete. We can just do it this way. And then you can see that's the lines to be deleted. Okay, so another useful :G command is the so-called context-sensitive replacement. So here you chain it to the S command. Typically, the regular expression you search is different from the old text. So you are only doing the substitution when the line contains that regular expression. Okay, let me give you one example. So, so these three lines have me. Let's say we want to change me to you only for these two lines. So only when the line contains delete. Then we search for delete, and then we substitute me to you. And then it will only happen at those two lines. So this is sometimes useful. Okay, finally let me talk about these not so useful ones. So here, these three commands will open up a separate window, and then you will be in the editor mode to do the corresponding edits. So for example, let's say we want to add a paragraph at the very end of the document. We can just say at the end of the document, append. And then after you hit enter, you're already in the edit mode. Then you can add a text inside here. A new, let's say we do an empty line, then a new paragraph talking about some stuff. So in order to end the edit, you can do a dot in an empty line, and that ends the editing, and then put the content back into the original document. I don't particularly like this because one, you're editing in a different window here, and secondly, it is actually you can only do the edit mode. Only edit mode, not normal mode. So at this point, if you escape, it will exit the edit mode here. So effectively, you typed in the period on an empty line, and the text will be put into the main window. Okay, where is it? Let's say we do line 20 insert some new info, and then yeah, if I do escape, it will just put the content there. Okay, so for C, it will completely overwrite one line. For example, let's say I want to overwrite line number 16. I can say number 16C. I mean, you can do range as well. Let's say 16 to 20C. A new section something else. Then you can see it replaces all those lines. Okay, that's what I have for today. Hopefully you find something new to you. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.